welcome to Ellamas Day 8, and today is the second Advent Sunday, so we're just heading towards the Christmas days, the specific days, or just in general the overall finale of the holiday season. And today I want to give you 3 looks that are inspired by Christmas markets. Look number 1 is going to be inspired by the vibe of German Christmas markets. Look number 2 by the vibe of Scandinavian Christmas markets. And look number 3, that is this, by the way, that I'm wearing right now, but that is inspired with the help of our beloved AI. So you can follow these tutorials, you can recreate the looks. You do not have to have these specific palettes. At the end, it's just all about the different tones, and you do not have to have specifically that product that I just used. I didn't know what I want to say. So enough of that intro, let's head right into the 3 fun looks. So the first look in this video is of course inspired by German Christmas markets, and I tried to gather some inspiration. Like, it's not that I don't know how they look like, but I just want to also pull you in. So let me show you some pictures before I show you what products I chose to create a look, and then I will just roll with it as said. This here, let me scooch to the side. This is the Leipzig Christmas market. In case you didn't know, I was born in Saxony in German. It's a state, pretty much the most eastern state of Germany. And Leipzig is, I think, the biggest city of Saxony. It's not the capital city, that's Dresden. And usually the Christmas markets in Germany, they're like condensed to one place. So they're mostly in the city center or something like that. But with Leipzig, the Christmas market is just all throughout the town. When I was smaller or younger also, we often arrived by train to that Christmas market, and then you just stepped out of the train station and the Christmas market just started right there, and you were able to just follow the street up to the center, and it's like everywhere. This is a nice overview of a bigger place there. Then we have this one here. I think it's just, yeah, it's the same place where it's photographed, because in the back, that higher building, this is the I think it's the MDR tower. MDR is a German TV thing. Not only TV, they do like news. It's a German news station. In Germany, you have different news stations for the different regions. So MDR, WDR, BR, and MDR is one of them. And in Leipzig is the big tower of them. Then we also have this picture here. This is, I don't think that this is Leipzig. It looks like Dresden. It could be the Dresdner Striezelmarkt. And I'm not 100% sure, because I just Googled actually for the Leipzig Christmas market, and then I just went on with German Christmas markets just to show you what this is. Like, look at this picture here. The greens, the yellows. I know the colors are a bit up, so this is not like how it looks natural. Then we have this picture. I think this is either Munich or Nuremberg. Not 100% sure. And then, of course, this, which is just like this is the vibe. This is what you see at German Christmas markets. And when I did a lot of my research, I just realized that the US Christmas markets are mainly inspired by the German ones. So it will be, for future me, quite hard to do a American-inspired Christmas market look, because, well, basically they look like a Germans, but that's a different thing. So you saw what we're working with. We have warm browns, reds, yellows, greens, all the shines, the like glistening colors. We have golden hues. So to be honest, there is, in my opinion, only one palette for years, hasn't been here, that catches this vibe, that is just giving you exactly what we just saw in the pictures, and that's the Odin's I Merry Christmas palette. But since last year with Ellamas, I used that, for example, in the intro, I didn't want to put more light on the brand than I should. I will give them credit where credit should be done because these two palettes from that Christmas collection are just special. But for the look today, I didn't want to pull it in. That would be the easy way. And I would be done with that in a second. But I want to challenge myself. So I'm actually 3 palettes. First of all, I will be taking my Lemonhead LA Space Case Pro because I want to, I'm not sure if I will do this and how I will do this, but somehow in my head, I have this idea of taking this here. This is Skill the Beast. And this one, this is, wait a second, Roosevelt. These two mixed together all over the lid. That's kind of an idea that I have. So I want to incorporate a bit of glitter. Then for mattes and shimmers in general, I thought of the Beauty Bay Rich palette because when we just take a look inside, I'm really eyeing these super warm, rich, deep browns. And there are also some beautiful metallic golds in here. I don't want to go too much in the wine colors. I will basically stay up here. And since the German Christmas markets, they live also on the green shades from the Christmas trees, all that, I'm taking the Be Perfect Carnival 4 and I will stay here in that outer line for a green vibe that I want to add on the lower lash line then. So, plan is warm reds, yellow golds on the upper lid, golds and greens on the lower lash line. So fingers crossed I'm able to put that vision on my eye. I'm starting the look with the shade Walnut from Beauty Bay. And I apply this throughout the crease and slightly blend that up. Favorite German Christmas market is definitely the one in Leipzig. I haven't been there for years, but there is a certain sweet that you can get there. And I know there are different variations all over Germany and all over the world, I guess. But that specific one in Leipzig is the best one, and I'm talking about Kreppelchen. I tried to translate that with Google Translator, and I have 2 different translations. One says critters, not sure if that's really the thing, and Deeple Translate actually told me to say deep fried dumplings, which technically is right, because Kreppelchen are basically a dough, a yeast-based dough that gets deep fried in oil and then topped with powdered sugar. Oh, it's so good. And they're not like donuts or something. I know the donuts are deep fried too. Oh, I lost my brush. They're small, like they're like this big, and they are like tiny little pillows. They're the definition of a cushion, because when you touch them, they just spring back into their fluffy format. I think the last time that I ate these was, I don't know, 2021? No, before COVID. 2019, 2018, something like that. I miss them, truly. I mean, we have similar ones here nearby, but they're all not as good as they're in Leipzig. I now go into the shade. I go into Fawn, and I use this to basically build up the depth here on the outer part and crease. And I then go into Liquor, and that one I apply directly here on the outer third of the lid. And whatever is left on my brush, I bring through the crease. I want to have something really, really warm and deep. In general, Christmas colors, they do change from year to year, but to me, the OG Christmas colors will forever be warm browns, reds, green, and gold. Last year, for example, I was very, very into not muddy greens, but like these greenish blues and silver, for example. And then I know that year, was it that or the year prior, we had like royal blue and gold as Christmas colors here. in trends, basically. You can see a lot of the times what the trends are when you just look at the colors of certain advent calendars. For example, I think Sephora, although I'm not the biggest fan of the Sephora calendar these days, they nailed the Christmas colors for Germany or for Europe very, very good. If you have never before worked with glitter gel, they can be applied opaque, but they do not have an opaque base. So if you want to have an opaque glitter layer, you need a lot of glitter, and I don't want to do this. So what I do is I apply a tad bit of glitter glue now on my eyelids. And I take one of the brownish red shimmers. I take Bonfire. Think that will do the job very, very well. And instead of building it up, wiping it on, having an opaque metal layer, I just pat it on because I want to just have a colored layer. And I could have done a matte layer, of course, but I think with a darker warm brown layer, that look will pop. Now into the Lemonhead LA glitter, and I have to experiment before that a little bit here on the mixing plate. Either I want to use the red and then the gold and mix it on the lid, or I pre-mix it on the mixing plate. So I will experiment a bit and then I show it in for you 1 second. I don't know how well you see this, but I think I take the mixture. Oh boy, it looks so fucking good. I don't know what it is with these phone videos, but I just love to show you these unfocused with flash photos, and this is what the mixture looks like with flash and without focus. So yeah, I'm quite excited, and I will apply this all over my lip. The easiest way to apply glitter glue, in my opinion, is still a silicone brush. I take these are from Slayfire Cosmetics, and since I won't waste anything, I just pick it up here from the spatula, what I just mixed, and I put it on the mixing plate, and then I keep on mixing again a tad bit and pick a lot of glitter up here. And now I look down in the mirror and I start to tap it on. Honestly, with glitter glue, when in doubt, tapping, no swiping, just tapping. I just pray to Sony and to Sigma and to Final Cut Pro that I'm able to capture this, because this this is so fucking beautiful. I'm tearing up. And I'm not tearing up because I have glitter in my eye. I also pull in a liner. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 liner in Double Life that I definitely need to sharpen before I put this in my eye. And I think I definitely need something here on the upper waterline. So I line that. And then I also line the lower waterline. Now I pull in the Be Perfect Carnival palette because I'm doing a greenish look on the lower lash line. And I start by tapping into Mystique, whatever. And I very, very close to the lash line apply this. It is a very, very dark green. And now I go into the shade Ash next to it with a pencil brush. And I use this on top and underneath to smudge that out. And I also go into the shade Sable. And I, with a very, very lightly hand, dust this underneath. With a light hand, not with a lightly hand. It would be lightly handed. That Mystic shade made a lot of fallout, so I just dust that off with the same brush I used my under eye setting powder with. And I will definitely use a Lemonhead glitter also on the inner corner, but I apply a base first. I want to do something light and shimmery that mimics the glistening lights. So I will take Florentine or Sequin. I take was it Florentine? That shade, Florentine or Florentine, whatever. And I apply this on my inner corners. Honestly, there would be nothing wrong with just leaving it as it is. but I'm extra. So back to the space case, and I take this one. This is Mirage, because it has some pinky reddish specks in there, but also gold and very light green ones, I'd say. And I top this now on. Okay, that's much more pink than I thought it would be. Okay, let's change plans. So I tapped into this one. This is adult film. And I apply this on top too. Adult film has multicolor specks, and mixed with that pink from Mirage, we have a rainbow inner corner. And honestly, I'm not mad about this because it looks like festive, like these thousand different lights reflecting in the snow, in cameras, in my eyes when I go to the Christmas market. Not what I planned, not gonna lie. I wanted to have a golden inner corner glitter, but to be honest, I kind of like that rainbow vibe. This is now the first finished look inspired by a German, or in general all German Christmas market vibes. For the lips, I used the Glam Light Ghost Face, the dark red lip liner, not that brown black one, and I topped it off with last year's limited edition matte liquid lipstick. Oh my god, from Dior. This is the shade 883. It's the one that went viral last year because people, you apply them, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then you press your lips together and you reveal a gold glitter. That effect, by the way, was very, very much done over the top on TikTok. It does not glitter that much. Honestly, I love that look, and the idea of mixing this red and gold glitter is exactly what you see in the evening. It's dark outside. The Christmas market is like in their dinner time. So many people are there packed in clothes, and you just have these yellow lights reflecting on those dark, warm brown little like little houses that are there where you can buy stuff, and that's the effect that you see. We have the green with the gold. We have even that inner corner highlight with the slight rainbow effect. I think is also very fitting to this, because in Germany there are also like these adventure things where you can go like scooter or roller coaster, like not big roller coaster, but some Christmas markets in Germany, they do have small ones. They do have ice skating things everywhere. So there is also not only stuff to eat and to buy shit basically or to drink, it's also fun things to do. So personally, I have German Christmas market vibe now. So let's head over to the next Christmas market themed eye look. So look number 2 is inspired by Scandinavian Christmas markets. And when I did my picture research on this, I just realized how similar we are. So I found pictures like this, for example. You see, it's all also with these red and white little houses where you can buy stuff. This is like the typical like Sweden housing. When I think of Sweden, I always see these red wooden houses and then with these white stripes of wood somewhere. Then we have also this picture, same housing style, and also the warm lights, the yellows. So it's all very, very warm looking. I mean, look at this. It is super warm looking. And also this is more done by daytime, but you see the golden lights, we have the reddish houses, we have warm woods, we have a cozy vibe. But there's one big difference between this and German Christmas markets, and that is the snow actually. So In Germany, when there's time for the Christmas markets, I haven't seen snow in the Christmas markets in years. So what I thought I will do is I will combine these. So the look that I will do based on these images is something that is warm and cozy on one side, but also very cool toned, frosted and icy, and that in one look. And I thought to achieve this, I go with palettes that I haven't actually used this year. One being Rose Metals from ABH because it has the perfect warms and goldens. And for the icy vibes, I will be going in with Metamorphic from Beauty Bay. And I just realized I actually have a palette that combines both the iciness and the warmth. The Nomad of Fuji 5 Lakes has exactly this. So now, should I use this? No. I will stay with the other two because with that palette, you got a video with several looks. So I want to use something that I haven't touched this year. And maybe some of you have both of the palettes, but you just need some more inspiration. So that is what you are going to get here. I'm starting with a fairly fluffy brush and I go into the shade Ashes of Rose Metals. And that I apply in my transition area. This is neither warm nor cool toned. It's a nice neutral taupey color. Although taupe is usually very cool toned, I think Ashes is just right in the middle. And I go into the shade Dune from Rose Metals. And that one I apply on the outer crease and outer V area. And I'm bringing it towards the center of the crease, but not completely inwards. I'm now going into the shade Parallel from Metamorphic. And that one I start to blend here on the inner crease part. And I bring it also towards the center and I mix it by just flicking it outwards. I'm not trying to create a new shade here in the center. I just try to create the illusion of a gradient from the warmth to the cold. With an even smaller brush, I go into the shade Reality and I use this slightly above that crease area to just give it a little bit more coolness. See the difference? It's like glowing. I also want to add some more darkness and warmth on the outer part, so I go into the shade Noble from Rose Metals. And that one I apply in the classic outer V and crease to create the darkness. And then I use the shade that I used Dune with and I just go over it, but not throughout the complete crease because I do not want to cover the blue part. So I applied my glitter glue now and I then tap into the shade Rose Fire from ABH. And that one I tap here on the outer half of the lid. And then I go into Alchemy from Beauty Bay. And that one I apply on the rest of my lid. And where they both meet, I just take whatever is left on the brush that I used the cool tone shade with. And I start to flick it outwards, but in the direction of the warm tone. So do not like swipe, just flick it in one direction. And then I take the brush with the warm tone shade again and I just tap a couple times over that area here. Why do I look like Game of Thrones? I don't know why, but this look gives me strange Game of Thrones vibes and I never watched it, so why? The waterline, I go with a more neutral color. I take the Now Black Cupid's Arrow in the shade Cappuccino. I think this is a very, very neutral brown that just ties looks together mainly. I wasn't feeling a white or super bright waterline today. And I basically mimic what I did on the upper lid. So I take the shade Dune first and smudge this on the outer half. And then I go into Parallel from Metamorphic and smudge this on the rest of the inner corner. And then to mix that again, I just swipe it out. And to just soften everything as a whole, I go into Ashes and I apply this underneath both of the shades, basically just like I did with the transition color on the upper lid. And to make the inner corner extra frosty, I go into the shade Future from Metamorphic and apply this on the inner corner and also swipe it a bit on the lid and a bit on the lower lash line. And here we have the second finished Christmas market inspired looks, this time by Scandinavian Christmas market. That is just very warm with the lights and the little houses where you can buy stuff, but also the frostiness of the snow. And I did something that I have been doing recently a lot of times. I used as highlighter the Fenty How Many Carats that is currently in my focus box, and what I do is I basically apply it very, very generously on the cheeks, and then I also swipe it in this area so that the brows are basically covered in that glitter, but also as brow bone highlight, so it just gives an extra snowy effect. And for the lips, I went with Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Icon Baby lip liner. Topped it off with this Girl Called Matte Lip Glaze in the shade M56. And for some sparkly things on the lips, I went with Frosty Bitch from Half Magic Beauty. And I think it's quite obvious, I went also with white lashes for this look. And I also applied the glitter top coat from Rabanne, but that is very, very hard to see in these lights actually. So now let's head over to the last Christmas market inspired look of this video. So initially for the third look, I wanted to do a makeup look inspired by American Christmas markets. And when I started to do some research on how it looks, for example, in New York, Los Angeles, you know, the big cities, I just found tons of articles that basically the American Christmas markets are all copied from the European ones. So I'm sorry, but we did that already. So I thought let's just take the help of AI here and let's ask ChatGPT what they understand under a makeup look that is inspired by a Christmas market. So let's type here, create the picture of a makeup look inspired by the vibes and feelings of a Christmas market on a crisp, cold evening. Let's do it as detailed as possible. So let's see what ChatGPT is doing here for us. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. It takes super long. It takes super long. Oh. It's basically what I did yesterday, but a tad bit more intense. I don't know if I like this. You know what? Let's give that prompt again. Can you please copy? Thank you. So copy. But let's remove the crisp cold. Maybe ChatGPT will now give me something else. That's a cool thing. I can create 3 images today. So one of those 3, it has to be at the end. Oh, okay. That looks nice. I want to do some adjustments, but I will definitely do this look now. It took me now a good 10 minutes to figure out what palettes I want to use to create this eye look. And the problem is that when I look at the picture here and I zoom into that look, I mean, figuring out what kind of golds and the shimmery inner corner. Oh, I missed the green. Okay, I will grab a green eyeshadow in a second too. That is not hard, but it's the mattes, because it is red, but it's also brown, but it's not like red, and it's also not pink red. It took a while, so I decided for the mattes, I'm going in with the Beauty Bay Rich palette. For the shimmery gold and that light inner corner, I will be using the Bobbi Brown Luxe shadows. These are Sunflare and Moonstone. By the way, the palette I think is not existing anymore. This is the Luxe eyeshadow quad from Lunar New Year 2022. No, 2023. And now let me grab a shimmery green. I think that'll do the job. This is a girl called Quad in the shade or in the style 42 Common to Magical City. Although, no, you know what? Let me change that one more time. Oh my god, the lack of green eyeshadow in my collection was now the reason why it took so long to find the perfect green for that lower lash line, because this is not a matte in my opinion here. This is a shimmer and it's a true, like a true Christmas tree green. I would even call this a grass green because it does not have a lot of yellow tints to it. It's borderline getting, it's borderline more into blue toned greens. So I now found two shades that could match. One is the shade Tinted Love from the Clarity Cosmetics Stained Glass palette, and the only all green palette that I own inspired by Adept Cosmetics, Nelson Ravik, is very similar, but it's a chromey shade, so this shifts. And at the end, I will decide what matches the best when we're done with the look. Y'all, that took so long now together. I'm shocked a bit, but now I can fully start, and with the palette I will mainly focus here in this warm orangey brown, and then I will pull in definitely this wine color because it seems like this matches very, very well. So I'll start right away with the shade Brioche right here on a super fluffy brush and apply this as my transition color quite high up actually, because I feel like there's not a lot of matte eyeshadow applied on the lid. You have no idea how much fun I actually have working with AI here, because it just forces me to really dig into my collection. I'm not like sticking myself to one single palette. I have to get very creative, and I really enjoy this take. See, AI has its good parts too. I now go into do we need orange? Maybe a bit. So I go into walnut now. I apply this also in the crease, but I try to mainly blend this upwards and not so much down on the lid. And now for the reddish tint, I go into this shade here. This is Shiraz. I have no clue what Shiraz is. And I apply this on the outer V. And then I bring it up and blend that basically in the same area as I did walnut. But in the picture, she definitely has something on the outer V area. Maybe I have to even go in with something darker than this. This reddish shade is definitely more a wine color than it is a red. So, let me pull in the Nomad Fuji 5 Lakes for a red tint. So I take quite a flimsy brush and then I tap lightly into Burning Bush. And that one I apply on top, basically above the crease. Yes, that was a good choice. That was a very, very good choice. I also tap back into Walnut and I just go over this transition part again. Whatever is left on the brush here, I just apply on top of that auto wine color. That was not the best choice, honestly. By the way, what's wrong with the weather here? Every time when I film during the day and not only at 6 a.m. in the morning, the sun is not here. And as soon as I start filming, the sun is coming through. It's busting through the clouds. I don't know. It looks like we have quite a messy shimmer application, which I am not mad about. So I apply my glitter glue. I take the shade Sunflare here from Bobbi Brown and I tap this on the lid. I am also quite messy, like on the picture, and I also tap it a bit in the crease. Honestly, I miss these baked shadows from Bobbi Brown. If you ever have the chance to get your hands on a quad that has these baked shades, don't think twice about it. Just grab it. So I take now the brush that I had walnut on and I just run this through the crease for more glitter breakdown and glitter diffusion. So I just realized that on this photo she also has a black waterline. While I do think this is quite a harsh color, I will just follow that too. But as always, I have to sharpen it first. I'm using the Permagel in Ultra Black from Pat McGrath. Try to be as tidy this time as possible. And line my waterline, and I'll also line the upper waterline. I do take the rich palette again, and now I go into the shade Fondant. I think it's Fondant correctly. Because underneath that shimmer green and gold, there is kind of a matte color peeking through. So I take this on a pencil brush and I just very, very sloppy and far down apply this brown shade. And I decided to go with Tinted Love from the Stained Glass palette from Clarity because it does not have a shifty capability, so I think this matches much better here. And I start to apply this here in the center and then I tab it out. I think she also has kind of a wing going on. So let's be very, very creative here. I do not want to do a black thing. So I go into the darkest shade of the Rich palette, which is the shade Fossil, whatever. And that one, I press into the lower lash line just a tad bit. Then I bring it also outwards and then I flick it just right in. I'm basically just darkening this triangle here. It's not really a wing. I just want to create a bit depth there. Now back into the Bobbi Brown quad, I take Sunflare again and I apply this here on the inner part of the lower lash line. Oh, this is precise work here. And now I also take Moonstone and tap this here on as my inner corner highlight. And here is the final finished look, and to just match also with the red lips, I went with the Glamlight Ghost Face Lip Liner. There were two in that collection. One was black and this is a dark bloody red. And I used, once again, I just love these for the Christmas time, the Dior Forever Rouge liquid lipsticks in the shade 620. These are the ones that once you dry them down, you press your lips together and you reveal a beautiful glitter. I don't know how much of that glitter is really visible. When I look in the mirror, I see them and they're quite comfy to wear. And I think all three looks, they had something very, very special. But what I think we can all agree on, Christmas market vibe is just cozy, is warm, it's gold lights, it's maybe some cool tones like the crisp air, if you're lucky enough and you have snow during that time of the year. It's just a overall vibe of warmth and coziness, and what better shades can just show this than warm browns, reddish browns, shiny golds, beautiful champagne colors, all that. I'm happy with all the looks, and if I had to rank them, my favorite is look number 1, but that mainly because I was able to just incorporate some glitter and just mix them and do something really, really pretty with that. Thank you so much as always for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the rest of Ellamas. I totally lost the point. I see you tomorrow, hopefully.